Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 3. In this part, we are going to talk about database systems, data warehouses, and data marts. Also, we will look at some of the hot topics of databases today, which is about big data and data analytic tools, how it can be used in the businesses. Some of the learning objectives of this chapter are as follows. First, we will be able to define a database and a database management system. Then we will talk about the logical database and design and the relational database model. Next, we will define the components of a database management system and also look at some of the trends in the database design and also how it can be used in the industry. We will be able to also explain the components and function of the data warehouse as well as data marts. Also, we will talk more about the business analytic tools that are out there, and we will describe their role in the decision-making process of a business. And finally, we will discuss big data and its business applications. So first, what is a database? Database is a collection of related data that is stored in a central location or in multiple locations. What is data hierarchy? Data hierarchy is a structure and organization of data which includes fields, records, and files. Also, characters. Characters is the smallest part of the database structure or hierarchy. Files consist of records. So, for example, we could have a student file which consists of all these records of the students. Record can consist of fields, which we could have a record of a student which will consist student name, last name, social security number, address, phone number, and etc. Field is combination of character. So a field could be social security number, for example, or a name or an address. So in a university database, we could have one file for faculty, one file for students, one file for a course. And so each file could consist of multiple records. So for example, in the student file, we will have 10, 20, thousands of student records. And so in each of those student records, it consists of a field, which the field could be, for example, first name, last name, social security number, phone number. So these are each by itself is a field. And field is combination of characters, which is, for example, name, like Layla, or social security number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now what is a database management system? Database management system, or sometimes we will call it database software, is a software for creating, storing, maintaining, and accessing database files. So by using a database management software, we can make use of our database and become more effective and more efficient. So let's look at how the user can interact with the database management systems and a database. A user can request information from the database management systems or software. Database management software or system searches the database and retrieves the information from the database and then sends it to the database management software, and that will be return the information to the user to view it, maybe as a report, maybe on the monitor, or maybe as a graphical display. Next section, we will talk about methods for accessing files. In a database, files are being accessed by using a sequential, random, or index sequential method. In a sequential access file structure, records in the file are being organized and processed in numerical or sequential order, typically the order in which they were entered. Records are organized based on what we know as primary keys, such as social security number. For example, to be able to access record number 10, we should go through record number 9 before getting to the 10. This type of access method is effective when a large number of records are processed less frequently. Perhaps on a yearly, or quarterly basis. Normally, a sequential file structure is used for backup and archiving, as they rarely need updating. We have two types of data in a database. One of them is internal, which collects from within the organization, such as organizational data like the employee data or management data. And they can store it in organizational internal databases. Also, we have external type of data, which can come from variety of resources, such as maybe even social media or a supplier or a customer of our database. And they could be stored in a data warehouse. We will discuss more about data warehouse in the next chapter. Another method for accessing file is random access file structure. Record can be accessed in any order, regardless of their physical location. Their method of access is very fast and effective when a small number of records need to be processed daily or weekly. Disks are basically random access devices, whereas tape are sequential access devices. Another method that we talk about is Index Sequential Access Method, or ISAM. Records can be accessed sequentially or randomly, depending on the number being accessed. For a small number, random access is being used, and for a large number, sequential access is being used. This file structure is similar to book index that lists page numbers where you can find certain topics. There is an advantage for this method, and that is that both types of access can be used in this method, depending on the situation and also based on the user's need. Therefore, an index in this method is more useful when the number of records is small. And access speed with this method is also fast, so it is recommended when record must be accessed frequently to use this method.